Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. Seems to be in really good shape. Myles Brennan is coming back. He's a fifth-year player. You've got Garrett Nussmeier in the program. Walker Howard just enrolled early. Like, this is a pretty good spot. I don't think you ever turn a quarterback away, but I'm not sure if it's a spot that he's going to want to come because Myles Brennan was the starting quarterback here 2 years ago. Well, fast forward, and Jayden Daniels on March 6th did commit to LSU. And I didn't think a ton of it. Now, Matt was dead right, and he will tell you because he had a little bit more knowledge of what was going on over there because he's friends with Ryan Clark, and Ryan Clark's son was there, and he was friends with Jayden, and they had seen him play a little bit. But I'm thinking, like, this guy's numbers at Arizona State are okay. I turn on the highlight tape, and he, does some cool things. It's Arizona State. Myles Brennan's the quarterback as far as I can see. And we went into that spring and that summer going, you know what? I think there's a quarterback competition, but it's probably Myles Brennan. And Matt was like, no, they brought him in to be the starter. Brian Kelly thinks that's his starting quarterback. And to sit here today when he's about to be the second pick in the draft with a Heisman Trophy on his mantle is just hard for me to wrap my head around truly. Y'all know the story around here. Y'all know the 10 years of unbelievable defensive back play, of elite-level defensive lines, of all-American linebackers, Kevin Minter, Devin White. Y'all know the lineage of running backs and wide receivers that have rolled through here, the games that LSU has won, and just how difficult it seemed at times for LSU to complete a forward pass. And then we got Joe, which, by the way, was like a nice ad. Okay, Ohio State's third-string quarterback. Good thing they got him some Mike Anderson's crawfish. I guess that worked out. We'll see what he's got. And then he becomes Joe Burrow. And we all sat there and go, okay, well, we're never going to see anything quite that good, but that was pretty awesome. And then to sit here, Joe was in the 20 draft, so 4 years later, and to have a guy with just about the same accolades from an individual perspective is really amazing. And especially considering the fact that when someone floated the idea of talking about him on the radio the next day, I had never heard of him. Now, you can put that as an indictment on me. That's fine. I don't watch a lot of Arizona State football. But this has been an unbelievably meteoric rise for Jayden Daniels. And I looked back at his bio, and for his career numbers at LSU, 6,725 passing yards, 2,019 rushing yards, which totals 8,744 total yards in his 2 years. On LSU's all-time list, he's second in terms of touchdowns responsible for with 79. He's third in total offense and passing touchdowns. He's fourth in passing yards. He's one of only 18 players in LSU history to run for 2,000 yards. He's obviously got the record all-time of rushing yards by a quarterback as a career and in a single season. We saw flashes in 2022. We saw him against Florida when LSU scored 6 times in a row right down the field. We saw his ability to stay composed and make big plays against Alabama in Tiger Stadium. And we thought maybe at times he holds on to the ball a little bit too long. For some, he definitely holds on to the ball too long. We remember the press conferences in 2022, Brian Kelly saying, I know he's got no interceptions. That may not be the greatest thing. He needs to throw the ball down the field. Take some chances. Give Malik Neighbors a shot. Give Brian Thomas a shot. Give Kayshon Boutte a shot. Put the ball in harm's way, which at the same time gives your guy an opportunity to make it a big play. And it never really materialized his first year as a starter at LSU in terms of being overly aggressive. Not overly, but being more aggressive. And then we thought there's a chance he may test the NFL waters. He's been a starting quarterback in college football 3 years at Arizona State, 1 at LSU. That may be enough. Maybe you go. And this is a 4-star recruit who, as a true freshman, probably thought he was 3 and done anyway. And he decides, instead of going to the NFL after 4 years, to come back for a 5th. And I tell you every single year about that optimism clock, that at August is at a fever pitch. It's as high as it'll get. And those that are feeling really optimistic are saying, look, he's had an off season to understand what he needs to do. He needs to take more chances. He needs to get the ball down the field. He's going to do that now. And you've got the pessimists who will sit there and say, he is who he is. It's not going to change. And then you come out in that Florida State game, and the LSU offense bogged down in the second half. Now, there was a huge drop by Kyron Lacey on a 3rd down, and then Malik fell down on a hitch route for an interception, and that stalled 2 of the drives. So you can say whatever you want about it, but the production in the end wasn't as good as you would have hoped, and you lost the game. And then you went to Starkville, and it was a flamethrower for 4 quarters. Now, Malik was very much involved in all that, but Jayden was too. He was the one pulling the trigger. And my word, did it never stop after that. Game after game after game after game, it was almost perfect quarterback play. Almost perfect. He was decisive. He was accurate. He was explosive. He ad-libbed. And he was incredible the whole way through. And to think that the fact that LSU couldn't stop anybody almost stopped him from winning a Heisman Trophy is tough to even consider at this point. But because he was so good and put up such ridiculous highlight show numbers and plays against Florida, and then stormed back in the second half to beat Texas A&M, he rightly held that trophy at the end of it. And tonight, all that work, 5 years of starting, 2 years at a different place, the maturation and growth of one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen in college football culminates with a pick very early in this draft. There doesn't seem to be anybody that suggests that this would be an opportunity for anyone else but Washington to make this pick. You've seen a lot of people, Dan Orlovsky, myself, Charles Handegriff, say, if I were Chicago, this would be my guy. Well, they've made their pick. They're going to go with Caleb Williams. But I think Washington is going to be a very, very happy team to draft this guy. They've got to put an offensive line in front of him, and they've got to surround him with a quality culture. We've seen really talented dudes enter the league and never surface because of the environment around them. And Washington's been toxic for decades. Dan Snyder's gone. New group is in. Maybe this is the change. We've seen it in Cincinnati. Maybe this is it for Washington. But either way, I'll sit back as an alum tonight at Don Juan and think, man, this is really cool. That after we wandered in the desert for a decade, seeing nothing but mirages with recruiting stars by their names, you finally, over a course of 5 years, produced 2 of the best quarterbacks in SEC history, statistically. And the draft is the culmination of that, and you kind of hand them off. I've adopted the Cincinnati Bengals because of Joe Burrow, and obviously Jamar Chase helps. And that 2019 championship run was such a magic carpet ride that I think Joe endeared himself to this fan base maybe a little bit more than Jayden, and that's unfair because Jayden couldn't control the defense. If you put the Patrick Queen, Derek Stingley, Christian Fulton, Caleb Chase on defense with Jayden Daniels, they win the national championship last year. Sorry, Michigan. They do. But he didn't have that opportunity, so it doesn't quite feel the same. But I think for tonight, if you've got that purple and gold on, you're feeling pretty proud and really happy for Jayden Daniels. It is a huge, huge day for him, and I'm thrilled for him, for his team around him. He's been nothing but an unbelievable class act. I got a text message earlier this week that Jayden and his mother visited a whole floor of young kids with cancer last week, had his LSU gear on. I didn't see it publicized anywhere. I didn't see social media about it anywhere. I didn't see it, any news cameras or stories written about it. And I don't think Jayden really cares about that. I think he does stuff like that all the time. But I got that information from someone that was there and sent a picture to me of Jayden with a bunch of kids. And I was told that the organization said there was just nothing but grace and class. There was not a dollar exchanged for any of the services. It was just simply out of the goodness of his heart. And at this point in his life, this hectic time period where he's trying to create a life-changing situation for him, to take some time out and to go see kids that are fighting a battle, I thought spoke volumes about him off the field, and we know how incredible he is on the field. So tonight is Jayden Daniels' night, and I'm thrilled for him wherever he may go. But it feels like Washington at number 2 is very, very likely, and we'll certainly ask Denton Day his thoughts on that coming up in 45 minutes from right now. We'll shift. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.